Okay, welcome everyone to Wellness Wednesday. This week, I have a wonderful guest, a friend of mine, also a doTERRA wellness advocate, Diana McDonnell. And so today she's going to dive into all about postpartum tips and tricks. It's hard to say those words together. But Diana is passionate about whole body health in her community. She graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Health Sciences and completed a Master in Science Education. And she is a certified personal trainer, fitness, yoga instructor to help, people reach their health and wellness goals. And then she's also a doula to help moms through every stage of pregnancy, and really set up the best birth experience that they can have as a mom. And then she teaches prenatal yoga, pre and postnatal workshops, and also infant CPR to help moms prepare for babies. So that's kind of a little bit about Diana. And she also just had a baby not too long ago. So welcome, Diana. I'm glad to have you.
Thank you for having me, Melissa. And if it cuts out, let me know. But right now, I think we're still good.
Awesome.
Basically born and raised in Niagara, Ontario, and love it here. The fall is beautiful. And I'm passionate about health and wellness, did health sciences in university. And the reason why I was so passionate about health is I had a lot of my loved ones suffering with diabetes, amputation, cancer in my family. I realized at a young age that I wanted to promote health and educate on health because without it, we can't do much, unfortunately. So that had an impact on me. And through that experience, I was able to start my business. I started off as a teacher, got very busy with doTERRA and realized I could do that as a full-time business, but I wanted to offer more to my clients. And so I did other trainings, certifications, and love being able to help moms and partners on their journey to pregnancy, delivery, and the postpartum. And so as I'm experiencing the postpartum right now, and I've had a lot of good feedback with my clients on recipes that were helpful, I thought this would be a good topic to share also what's helped me and what's helped my clients. So that's a little bit about my background.
Yeah. So as we are diving in today, those of you that are watching, if you know someone that is pregnant, knowing someone that has, dealing with postpartum, she's going to share some recipes and things in the next few minutes. And so be sure to share this video with them as well. So tell me, how do you best support your clients and how do you continue to support them right now during COVID? What does that look like?
I love doing one-on-ones, lunch dates, tea dates, for people that are local, and that was more popular before COVID. Now and I also do workshops in clinics and yoga studios, people's homes when needed, my home sometimes as well. But right now with COVID, it's more one-on-one through Zoom, so private consults, or I'll do public online classes where we register through Eventbrite. I have my monthly newsletter that goes out where people can see when my public classes are, or they can book a one-to-one with me, especially if they're in the partner and if they're pregnant and want to learn more about postpartum and I'm not offering an online class that month, then they can book a private with me and I can just share with them and a lot of tips that can help them in the delivery room.
Awesome. Yeah. So you're really focused one-on-one support because every mom truly has different needs. And if you've had kids before, every pregnancy is different, every feeling, is different, every journey is different. And so I like that you have that individualized, support for the moms. It's awesome.
Yeah, I love the one-on-one and I love the public classes if people feel comfortable and then they can ask questions too. And it's a cheaper cost to book on a class, but even so, it's all reasonable. And then also my website has resources too, so that's another way of keeping my clients supported.
Awesome. Yeah. So what are some of the top challenges that new moms ask you for help with?
I often have questions about the perineum, hemorrhoids, stress, anxiety, hair health, colic, belly, stretch marks or itchiness, those I find which mastitis. That's another big one. Those are common health issues or concerns with pregnant mamas or postpartum, during the postpartum. But I feel like today I can share a few tips. The one, these 4 oils, well, I guess 5. But like if I had to choose, okay, I can choose top 5, right? So with those health concerns during the post, I would say, I don't know, can you see these? These are the 5 staple oils to have: your lavender and frankincense, geranium, chamomile, and helichrysum.
Yep.
Because if you are dealing with perineum issues, making a perineum spray with even 1 or 2 of these oils, but if you had 4 or 5, a drop or 2 of each, some witch hazel, a third of the bottle aloe juice, and then a few squirts of the fractionated coconut oil from doTERRA. And I put that also on the maxi pads for making padsicles. And then once I'm done making the padsicles, putting them in the freezer, I'll top the bottle up with water and use that after the shower for perineum spray. Really helpful, very soothing, healing oils that are great for this. And then also the padsicles, moms love, have really good feedback with the padsicles. Freeze them. I usually recommend starting to make these 32 weeks pregnant. And then witch hazel pads with the same mixture, putting like in a mason jar. You can use one of those mason jars. They're 125 mils, and have your witch hazel, those oils. You can only do a drop of each in the mason jar. And cotton, not the balls, but the pads. And you could use that for your perineum or also for hemorrhoids. That's very helpful, making your own witch hazel pads. You can buy witch hazel wipes as well, and then add the oils, add coconut oil, but that's very healing for the perineum, for hemorrhoids. Having a sitz bath is very helpful.
And you can add oils in that too, yeah?
Yeah, Epsom salts, the oil, water, washcloths. Having a lot of washcloths is another tip. So, because I find that right now you're needing washcloths for your baby's warm compresses or cleaning up the baby, but then also for breast tenderness, breast soreness, before it gets to mastitis or clogged ducts. You still have those moments of the tenderness, or they're being overused, or they're filling and you're not used to it, and you feel that sensation. So the warm, you can add oils as well to that, just to drop the warm water, very soothing, very healing. However, before your next feed, make sure that you use another clean warm compress to get that out. And it has spread into the skin, and it's very helpful. Another great oil, if you already have your bottle of lavender, you can make your own roller, or you can buy it already made. The lavender is very helpful for breast tenderness, or just that quick swipe if you need it as like underneath your nose, or as a natural deodorant, or as a belly butter. That's just your quick little magic stick, burns, itchy. And so that's your perineum spray, your padsicles, your witch hazel pads that are helpful for hemorrhoids and for perineum issues. Those 5 oils are very, very helpful for a lot of concerns, like your first aid for babies, first aid for the home. You could add tea tree to that as well, because that can help with first aid, skin issues, mastitis, earaches for the baby. So lavender, tea tree, Roman chamomile, another great recipe a drop of each, highly diluted. So the rest of the 10 ml roller bottle would be fractionated coconut oil or another carrier oil that your baby's not allergic to coconut oil. But that's also helpful for cradle cap, that roller bottle, helpful. That Roman chamomile and lavender can help with colic babies, can help with teething and calming and soothing. And then for the belly butter for ourselves, if you're making a belly butter, so I made a few of these at the beginning of pregnancy. I used it as my belly butter, my body butter. I put a drop of oils and shea butter, coconut oil, mix it and like with a blender, and it becomes whipped. It's really a really nice body butter. You can also add aloe vera gel, and you can also add beeswax if you want it to be a nice, really nice consistency. But if you just want it to be a quicker consistency, it's more 3/4 shea and then a drop of each. And it helps with the itchiness, it helps with the stretch marks, but then afterwards you can also use it as a nipple butter as well. So that's just a handy little tip, great for any skin irritations to soothe. And then for your mastitis, making sure you have those warm compresses, those washcloths before the feed, get the milk flowing, massage out and not as sore with the warmness, the oils. And then after the feed, using a cold press, more washcloths ready to go. That can also help with the swelling. And I guess, any other questions, Melissa?
I love how you dove into like the versatility, because a lot of times I feel like people, when, if it's their first experience with essential oils, a lot of times they think, oh, lavender's only good for this, and they're so versatile. And so, what we can use on our bodies, we can use on our babies, just in, smaller dilutions, like you said, with 1 drop in a 10 ml of each of the oils. And that's all that they really need. And I think it just makes a huge difference when people look at it like, oh, that 1 bottle can be so versatile. I can use it for my body butter. I can use it for my kids, needs, if they have cradle cap or croup or colic or any of those things, right? You can always use it to support in many ways. So I love that.
So many.
Yeah. Now, for people that are kind of apprehensive, you probably have worked with some that are kind of like essential oils. I don't know. How do you approach that?
I always recommend doing a patch test. I haven't had any issues. I've had like moms thank me so much after a class or after an experience because it helped with this or it helped with that. But you have to be cautious. You need to be careful, because even though it's plants, yes, plants can be safe, but some plants can be harmful. Some people have an allergic reaction to certain plants. So I always recommend doing that patch test. You could start 3 months, after 3 months, highly diluted. And even if you're doing it at a young age and not after a year old, or you can also do it in a mason jar and dilute it even more, so that if you used a little mason jar, so even 4 tablespoons of oil and a drop would be a 0.25% dilution rate. So it's even it's even more diluted than in a 10 ml roller.
Yeah. And
so starting less, and it works. It still works. You don't need it. Some people think, oh, you need a lot for it to work. I've had great experiences, highly diluted. And then, just see if there's an allergic reaction or a skin irritation. But I've had great feedback.
Yeah. Well, and it's the quality of oils too. And those of y'all that are in this group know that doTERRA is what we talk about, because it's such high quality of essential oils. We're not talking about the oils that you can buy at the grocery store or, any, cheap ways online or through Amazon or whatever. This is high quality. And so we know the sourcing and we know where these oils are coming from too. So it's only using the best on yourself when you're pregnant and when you also have a little wee one. So
yes. And I always say, yeah, I've partnered with doTERRA because of their quality, their consistency. They have so much research done in university, and because of that, they're used in clinics around the world, hospitals around the world. And that's why I've partnered with them and worked with them, because we know that the quality and the science is there. And with anything, we need to be cautious. There's a time and a place for pharmaceuticals and medicine, but there's also a time to try plants and use that natural healing. And
completely. So if people are wanting to connect with you, what's the best way that they can, reach out?
So breathebliss.ca has a lot, but my email is breathebliss, BREATHE, bliss with 3 S's @gmail.com. But my website's breathebliss with 2 S's.ca. And then there's more resources, some free, some paid for, and then they can see the services I offer through Zoom. And then Instagram is Diana_breathebliss if they just want to see some tips that I shared during my everyday life, or contact me through email. That's it.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for being my guest today. Appreciate it. I think it was well worth our time for diving into moms and babies this week. So awesome.
There's so much more we could talk about, but that's offered in my online class if anyone wanted to sign up.
For sure. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks, Melissa. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye.